Hi, I'm Sandy Clark and I'm the Forestry and Grounds Superintendent with the Village of Mount Prospect in Illinois. I'd like to tell you about an interesting project we recently completed using wood from some of the ash trees that were growing along the streets of our town. We decided to use this wood to make some really beautiful end products: a decorative wall, some baseboard, some baseball bats, and some furniture. Now you might be wondering why we cut the trees down to begin with. Well, it's part of an ash reduction project that we're doing in preparation for the arrival of a tree-killing insect called Emerald Ash Boer. If you haven't heard of this insect, it's actually already killed millions of ash trees in the Midwest. And since 1/6 of our parkway tree population is made up of ashes, we're trying to get ready for EAB's arrival by removing some of our poor quality ashes now, so we're not faced with the removal of thousands of dead trees all at once. In the past, when we've done parkway tree removals, usually the logs have been ground into wood chips and made into pallets. And there is a cost to doing this. As responsible stewards of a valuable community resource, we decided to try a demonstration project to see if we could put this wood to a higher use and do so economically. Standing with me here today is our forestry assistant, Dave Hull. Together, Dave and I approached various companies in our area and found some that were willing to partner with us on an ash utilization demonstration project. We approached our Public Works Director, Glenn Andler, because we knew the village was in the process of building an addition onto our existing Public Works building, and we asked Glenn if the village could use some of the reclaimed ash wood for the building project, and he readily agreed. We also approached a local high school and asked if they could use some of the wood, and they were very happy to give it to their wood shop students. Dave here pretty much spearheaded the project, and he reported some challenges along the way, but in the end we were really thrilled with the end result. So now we'd like to tell you how everything came together.
You can scrape the tree throughout. The presence of EAB could be found anywhere throughout the tree. Today we're just scraping from the ground. Essentially what we're looking for are the typical S-shaped galleries formed by Emerald Ash Boer and D-shaped exit holes. We scraped down a portion here, and what we found is some native galleries from native boars. Essentially almost all ash trees are going to have some type of boar activity in them, just because of the presence of the native boars that generally will attack both stressed and healthy ash trees in the area. So what we're looking for, if we find a presence of EAB, essentially it's going to be a more confined S-shaped gallery, and what we're looking for is the presence of a D-shaped exit hole. Generally the native boars are going to have larger, longer galleries that will generally be deeper in the wood, and they'll have the exit holes will actually be larger and round in shape. Among these trees that are going to be removed, we're doing about 50 ash trees, and we've selected about 20 ash trees that we're going to use for wood utilization. Now this particular tree is one that's been selected, and essentially what we're looking for when we're looking for trees that can be utilized are trees that are at least a minimum of 15 inches in diameter, and a tree that we can get an 8-foot log out of.
The village, in conjunction with ComEd, have now begun the removal process of ash trees that have been growing directly under utility lines for many years. The utilization project plans to replace the ash trees with a smaller growing species that will no longer overgrow into the utility lines.
Okay, now that ComEd's contractor has gotten the tree cut down and topped out safely away from the wires, our crews will be able to come in now and finish the removal, and then we'll be able to we're going to haul away the wood that we're keeping and store it until we can take it to the place where we're going to get it processed. This tree behind me is a tree that ComEd crews have come in and taken out the top portion of the tree and removed it away from the wires, so it's safe for our crew to work around.
After the village's forestry crew has taken down the trees, the next process is to label the trees and coat the end of the logs with a seal coat. This will help prevent the logs from drying out.
What we did is we brought the logs in, and we set, as they came in, we put them up into a pile over here as a holding area until we're ready to mill them. And then at this moment in time, we're in the process of milling them through with the cut list of what Mount Prospect is wanting from their trees. We are certified by the state and the federal government, and what one of our rules is with that is that wood has to be tub ground, chipped. We take it to the second level. It needs to be chipped, but we send it out to be tub ground so that there's no chance of any of the larvae or adult beetles surviving the process.
The wood is sorted and numbered so that it can be easily tracked. When the process begins, the mill will take off the bark and 1/2 inch off the sapwood. This is completed in order to stop the spread of Emerald Ash Boer. The wood is then put into the kiln for drying. This process of processing the wood can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months. After the completion of the drying process, the woodworker will begin using the straight line rip in order to get the basic shape of the wood board. Smoothing out the board with a joiner is an important part in the process of milling because it smooths out the rough surfaces of the wood, making a uniform thickness throughout the board. The Profit Mat machine allows for the wood surface to have nice, clean, squared edges on all 4 surfaces.
Today we're a little bit farther along in the process. Earlier we were showing you a little bit of the machining and the front end of our production. Here we have an assembler, Tony, who's putting together the tongue and groove ash wall, the plank wall. It's similar to a tongue and groove floor, except it's going to be applied to a vertical surface in the Village of Mount Propect Public Works building. All right, here we're outside the finishing room, and this is pretty much the last step in our production process. These parts here are part of the benches that we're building, and we're pre-finishing the parts, and then we've assembled it once already, and then we're gonna put the finish on and then glue it up, one final time, and that's how it will go out. This here we pretty much were able to put together. This is an end table. We don't have the top on yet, but this we were able to put together because there's more space between the parts, and so we can get the finishing gun to get to those parts and get a proper finish on it. And this is the same. It'll be a clear finish, seal it, scuff sand it, and put a top coat on it, do a little assembly, put the top pieces on, and it's ready to go as well.
The wood from the Utilization project was used for a number of great end-use products. The new Emergency Operations building will receive new benches and a decorative light wall. And the Mount Prospect High School shop students will be given a chance to create their very own baseball bats. Also donated to the Utilization project were custom-made cushions from EJ Self Upholstery for the new benches at the Public Works building.
Hi, we're over here at Prospect High School where we've delivered some of the ash wood that we utilized and had it cut into bat blanks, and we've given it to the high school, and now we're going to meet with the shop teacher and a couple of the students that have started on the process of making bats. So how were you involved in this process?
Well, Mount Prospect Public Works contacted me, said that there were a bunch of trees that they were going to be taking down in the community due to the Emerald Ash Boer bug, and they asked if they turned the wood into bat blanks, if I'd be interested in getting a donation. And I said, sure.
Did you guys consider making baseball bats as a class project before you knew that these bat blanks were available?
Yeah, I did it. Yeah. I was actually going to go to another place and get a bat blank, but then I heard about this, so I just didn't get the bat blank from there.
I'm here with Russell now, and he was one of the first students to begin making a bat, so we're going to ask him a few questions about the process. Russ, how long did it take you to make your bat?
Well, it took about a month and a half to actually get it all completed to this stage right here. You have to sand it down and just make it the shape that you want, and then I burned in the wood, and after all that, you stain it how you want. That takes about a day, and then you put the final polyurethane on it, which is why it's shiny right now, and it's done from there.
This is a key to the city of the Village of Mount Propect. It was carved by a Mount Propect artist out of Mount Propect ash tree, and it was made specially for Leadwise.
And just so you know, this is everybody's. This is everybody here. This is yours too. This is not just mine. This is not mine. It's everybody's. Thank you.
We're hoping that our first attempt at utilizing urban wood is just the beginning of what we'll be able to do. By joining other communities that have done something similar, we hope to raise public awareness and help stimulate the market for processing urban trees for higher uses. If any Mount Propect residents are removing trees from private property and are interested in salvaging the wood for their own projects, we can help get you started by sharing the names of helpful resources. We invite you to call Public Works, or better yet, stop in and see our beautiful new lobby furniture for yourself.